Hello, welcome to DK Bowl Chat. I'm glad you're here. I am painting a little hummingbird. It's an Anna's hummingbird, and I am putting in its feathers. And in order to do a good job at that, I am turning it upside down to put them in, so I can put them feather over feather and have it look like they're correct. I'm going to turn it all the way upside down. There we are. And I'm going to continue with that. I've got gray, which is burnt umber and ultramarine. And I've also got green, because there's some green on the front of this little hummingbird. Yeah, I'm glad you're here with me. So I'm going to add some white to it, to this gray, and get it to be a little bit lighter. And I'm just going to put a little bit of a line in the feathers where there's little bits of white. Like, I can see them in there, and they are near the bottom of it. So I'm going to go right above where the dark stuff is, and the dark color, the dark stuff, and put in the white. Might be a bit much on my brush. And I can go in and fix that with a Q-tip. Let me see, we'll just touch it with the brush. I'm going to tap it with a Q-tip to get the excess paint up and out. There we are. I don't need it to be a straight, difficult, like, not difficult, but a straight, or what am I trying to say? I don't need it to be a hard line. I want it to be a soft line. So what would probably work even better, maybe, might be too big, we'll see, I'm going to try, is a fan brush. Let me grab one, and if I can get one with a small top, this one might work just fine. This is a 20-0. I'm going to go into that gray, or the white, it's like an off-white, and tap in those little feathers right above where the base of those little, each feather is. That's a little bit of white. I'm trying to avoid a pattern if I can, which I think is pretty easy to be random instead of focused on a pattern. Go in the white again, get some more gray. Here we are. And again, where I've got it very difficult, very hard, a hard line. Do you know it's difficult to talk when you're creating? It is. Anyway, I've got a hard line. I need to touch that with a Q-tip. We're going to just take a Q-tip and touch that. Get it to be less. There we are. I want to be careful not to smudge the pencil mark that I'm on. There we are. Just going to go make it a little bit less. And I can take a dry fan brush and pull over the top of it, which I'm going to do, and pull up towards the top. Is this a bit too, this is a bit too orchestrated. It's got a pattern going on, and I don't want that. So I'm going to take some of them out. Let's see, we'll just take part of it out anyway. There we are. I don't want to remove the background, so I'm just moving quickly, and I'm not staying in one spot. Okay, so I'm going to continue on its little feathers. I'll just blend that out a little bit. There we are. There we are. Okay, I'm going to keep going. And I've got the white here if I need to put more of that on, but right now I'm going to go to the gray that I was using. Gray and green. a little round brush to put that in. There's the gray, there's the green. All right, that's gonna work. Might be a little too green. Let me grab some gray. And I'm going to blend it out a little bit. Dissipate, make it dissipate a little bit. Okay, so I've got a damp fan brush. I just wiped it on the table, so most of the water's off of it. I'm not going to get any puddles from this fan brush. I'm just going to work my way across there. Blend them in a little bit. And then I'm going to keep going on what I already started with, which is the gray. Okay, so another row. And I can do the darker gray too. I think that might be almost black, pretty much. Yeah, it is. That's fine. I'll blend it in. Pull that up with a brush. There we are. Okay, so I don't need the little detailed lines of it. I need to just make sure that that is sort of diffused a little bit. I'm going to do that with another dry fan brush. You're pretty dry. There we are. All right, and I'm going to continue with the gray and the dark gray. And I'll get some light gray too. No pattern. Let's get some light gray. I need the light gray green actually. I'm gonna grab that. There we are, with a little bit of green in it. There we are. And dark gray. Maybe a little bit in here, huh? There we are. I'm going to put more of that in there. More dark gray. I'm going to clean that off with the Q-tip because it just went over the edge of him, of his pencil mark. Which would just make him bigger, I guess. continue on this. The fan brush, pulling through that. There we are. I don't want to completely make it disappear. I'm just muting it a little bit. Wipe that off and continue. Light gray. There we are. Can I get some darker? That's gray right here. Darker gray. Put that in. There we are. And my pattern is, I'm trying to keep from getting a pattern on here, so I'm kind of going in between where the other ones were. I'll go with a little bit of lighter gray with some green. I've got the darker gray again. I'm going to put that in. A fan brush to blend. A little. I don't need much blended. There we are. Just putting in darker gray now. A feather at a time. And if I have to paint part of his head over the top of this, I will. You know, the red part of it. That's a bit light on the green, huh? Let's get some gray in there. Okay, I'm thinking he's pretty good right there. I'm gonna have to put his neck color in, his little red neck, which comes down a little ways. I won't need this to be 100% perfect. I'm gonna get white on it and put some white on his little feathers. Like I did before, except maybe not. Maybe not a lot. And he's going to have wings on here too, so where the white goes around the little feather to the base. I'm going to use a paper towel to help dab it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah. I'm going to blend it as well with the fan brush. Let's get it to move. There we are. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I'm going to blend those up too. Just pull them. They're just little feathers. Okay. Turn your back the right way. Take a look at you, huh? It looks kind of patterned, so I'm going to fix that. With a little round brush and some gray to break up the pattern a little bit. There we go. And there's a little bit of gray in here too. Here we are. I still got a little bit of white in places, that's fine. Because it does in his body too. It has less green on his little body than I have on here. I have more green than he has, but I will fix that. This brush is a round brush, but it's kind of choppy. It's got open areas that will leave out. It won't deposit paint everywhere. Okay, so he's got some feathers coming straight down here. And then also I can put a little bit of the lighter color into his gray tummy. It's not that dark green. Come back in here and put that on there. We can go with light gray. I'm going to touch it with a paper towel, pick up the excess paint. And then move it. I'm going to move it with the fan brush too. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. And there. It's good. It's getting lighter. It's good. I'm going to go back over this part too with a little bit of lighter color. And I need to take a paper towel and dab off the excess paint. Okay, we're going to wipe that off. Okay. All right. Got more white that I can put on here. I will redo the branch again, one more row, and that'll be fine. Trying to avoid a pattern, but let's see what it looks like when I flip it back over. These are the little fluffy feathers that come out between these little chest feathers. This time I didn't dab it with a paper towel. I actually just used the brush. Clean that off. All right. There we are. And some gray. Get some gray on there. And I'm going back with dark again. I want to make sure it stays lighter overall. That we're not super dark. Okay. I'm just barely blending it with a damp brush. And I will need another brush full of brown, I think. Will work it really well. I can mix brown and black together, or even brown and gray together. But brown, we're going to do brown. Maybe not as reddish brown, but a little bit more grayed down brown. There we are. There we are. It's going to make it less see-through, less translucent, more opaque. I'm going right off the canvas here with the rest of the color. Okay. I don't know if that's a pencil mark right there. Maybe it is. Okay. I think I like the feathers, but it is a bit greener than the actual bird is. And there's a little bit of white coming underneath its little body, underneath this branch. I'm going to get a fan brush and pull that out a little bit. This is just white, titanium white. Okay, fan brush. Just going to pull it out a little bit. I don't want to pull the brown down, that would look funny. I just want to get the white. There we are. Okay, I'll bring that back up. Yes, we'll have to go over the brown a little bit. It's fine. We did it before, we can do it again. And I'm going to start making some of the red that's on his head. It's sort of pink, so I'm going to do pink instead of red right now. So white and quinacridone red will make a really nice pink. I've shared that before in other videos, but I want this to be a really vibrant pink, so I need to mix it until it's pretty vibrantly pink. And it almost looks metallic on the little hummingbird itself. It looks metallic. I'm going to mix it right off the table is what I'm going to do. To make sure I'm not going to... There we go. Put a little bit of that in right over the top of the feathers we already have on here. Bring them around like that. And I want to make sure that it looks natural enough, and I'm thinking it looks a little too pink. I don't know. I'm gonna play with this with some red, maybe. Go over here and put some over here as well. It's picking up the gray on my brush, so I'm gonna just go down the front of his little neck. There we are. So I'm thinking he needs to be more red. Yeah, we'll switch it up to red, more red. We're not going to red. I've got white in here, but we can just put the red on here. There we are. I've got the red. I'll go right over that pink. I think I'm going to switch it to red. There we are. And it has a little bit of definition between its little feathers. So I can see, I might be putting, yeah, it's a darker color in between the feathers. Okay. So I'm using the black and also red together. Make a little, sort of a necklace, huh? There we go. Just gonna get a darker red with a nice thin brush. I have a thin round brush. Okay. And I think this is good for today. I am so glad that you joined me today, and if you like watching videos of me painting hummingbirds or learning how to paint hummingbirds from watching these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video if you like it, and hit the notification bell so you can know when the next video comes out. I did the first couple hummingbird videos, and I am just loving painting hummingbirds. So I've done a few more, and yeah, thank you for being here with me. So I will see you in the next video, and God bless you, my friend.